Yo, welcome to Making Learning Addictive Live. It is your boy, Brian Romero Smith Sr. It's so good to see you guys. It's been a rough day, but guess what? It is May the 4th, one of my favorite days of the year because, you know, as you can see by the background, I'm a huge Star Wars fan, so this is how we get down. So I look forward to this, but I had to keep my kids from stealing my lightsabers to try and take them to school today, but that's all good. I'm glad they get into it as well, so it's something I can pass down to them. But anyway, thank you for joining us here. If you're on live, that is fantastic. If you're on YouTube, LinkedIn, or Facebook, make sure that you make yourself a part of the show. We would love to hear your questions, your comments, and we'll be sure to bring them up on the screen so you can feel interactive in this conversation today. If you are on Twitter watching this, sorry you can't actually comment on the show directly, but we'll be sure to check out your shout outs later on afterwards. If you're joining us on repeat, you can't comment live, of course, but we'll make sure that we honor you joining the conversation as well. So thank y'all for that. So tonight, this is our first episode in May as we continue to talk about mental health awareness. This is Mental Health Awareness Month, and for those that have been following, our last couple of episodes have been around mental health awareness, ever since the suicide, of my nephew. This is something that I've been wanting to focus on in education. It's something that's near and dear to me, especially as people continue with the nonsense of trying to get social emotional learning outside of the classroom. So I want to make sure that we bring you content that's going to help you, focus on this particular area, but give you some creative ways that you can implement and embed mental health conversations in the everyday conversation instead of waiting for an opportunity, to bring it up when you get a chance. We have to stop that kind of nonsense as well in education. Well, we're going to do that today, however, with one of my favorite topics around music. And everybody knows me. I love me some music. And for those that also know, I work with Flocabulary, and I'm learning so much about hip hop. Yes, I didn't grow up a hip hop head, but oh my goodness, the learning that I've been able to gain in these past 2.5 years with the people that I speak with, the product that we work with has been phenomenal and life changing in so many ways. But I'm gonna bring on some brothers here that I love speaking with that we've had before in the past, on our hip hop in the classroom editions. They work with Flocabulary, doing some amazing stuff. Y'all be sure to stay tuned for all of that. But Mike's not here, so I'm still gonna bring them on with some beatboxing, because I don't know if one of them can flow, but we about to find out. We about to find out. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing my mans, Chris Payne and Chris Camp. What's up, y'all?
Yo.
Y'all got some bars for me?
No. No? Chris Camp probably does. Chris Camp does everything.
Oh, hold on. There's Mike. No. There's Mike.
Mike.
Come on, Mike. Give me something, Mike.
Hey, what's up? I was not ready to rap.
You was not ready for that?
I was not ready. I totally forgot what time.
I'll bring it down. That's all good. That's all good. The next time you got to introduce everybody, with a freestyle.
I got you. Next time I got you. 100%.
You got me next time? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Why don't we go around counterclockwise? Why don't you guys introduce yourself so the audience know who you are? Oh, counterclockwise.
Who's first?
You at the top.
Yeah, you're at the top, Chris.
That's me. What's up, y'all? Now, my name is Chris Camp. I am the director of video at Flocabulary and Nearpod. I work with a bunch of amazing folks, including Chris Payne right here and Mike Judd, creating amazing videos and music for the classroom, mainly hip hop. What's up, y'all?
Yo.
That goes to you, Chris.
All right, I'll jump in. My name's Chris Payne. I usually go by Chris number 2.
Come on.
Chris Camp he's just a legend in the game, so I'm just always a student when I'm around him. But yeah, I run the audio team over at Flocabulary and Nearpod, working with Chris and Mike to create all the content you see on Nearpod and Flocabulary. I'm a producer, engineer also in my free time.
Excellent.
Hey everyone, Mike Judd. I'm on the curriculum team at Flocabulary, and I'm also one of the rappers. So curriculum involves just kind of doing background researching, making sure that everything we're making is standards aligned and factually sound, and then being a lyricist, turning it into the lyrics, and then rapping and recording them.
That's dope. Love having you guys on, chatting with you and learning from you. Let me go ahead and set the stage. The episode is named "Lyrics That Lift." And I know many of us, waking up. It doesn't matter if it's hip hop or not. Has their go to song and lyrics that resonate with them in different situations, in different circumstances and scenarios. Like this morning, I have a tendency to wake my wife up with "Good Morning Gorgeous," but Mary J. Blige. Not everything in the song, is relevant to what's going on, but the fact that the line is "Good Morning Gorgeous," and it's got a nice flow to it, she wakes up in a wonderful mood. And we keep it PG, but it does wonders for me as well when she when she wake up like that. But it's helped set the tone, and many of us fall back to music when we need a new tone set, in our lives. The idea though came when Chris Payne did something in one of our meetings back in the day, called, what was it, Lyrics We Love or Lyrics I Love? Which one was it?
We love.
Lyrics We Love. And I was like, that is a dope concept. That needs to be a segment on the show for sure. So we're going to talk a little bit about, the lyrics that lift us, as well. And then hopefully, we get some feedback from you. If you've got some bars, some lines from different songs that you want to shout out to us, that help you transition into whatever situation you're in, give it to us. We'll be sure to add that to the show as well. So I'm going to stop talking, and I want actually Chris Payne to go ahead and lead us into Lyrics We Love.
All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate the opportunity. I first want to say that I didn't create the Lyrics We Love movement. It's been a thing that we did back at Flocabulary for years with one of the co-founders, Blake. Also, my predecessor on the audio team, Tierney Oberhammer. They came up with the idea and allowed us to kind of run with this. So I definitely want to give them their flowers for starting it off. I loved it, and I didn't hesitate to jump in and try to show the lyrics that I loved one day. So this is a throwback for one that I did back in the day. But first, I want to start off by showing a quote from Jay-Z, who said, "A poet's mission is to make words do more work than they normally do, to make them work on more than one level." And that's why I love hip hop to start off with. It's not about just like bragging about things or just like throwing out random topics or saying how much money you got, or sometimes it's about using the language and making it do more, making it do backflips, making it say four things by only saying one thing, and referencing things and going on today, things that happened in the past, just showing the rappers like wealth of knowledge. And the real MC really does that. And the person I'm going to focus on today is your rapper's favorite rapper. And that guy's name is Black Thought. And if you don't know about Black Thought, he's known for being the lead MC in the band The Roots. He's from Philly. And he's just a phenomenal rapper. And just on the topic of why lyrics belong in the classroom, we're going to watch him do a freestyle at Harvard University. If you don't see the power of hip hop and the fact that at Harvard, they're asking guys like Black Thought to come and discuss hip hop and talk about the topic and flow for them, I mean, you're missing the point. Like, that's the highest level, one of the best universities that we know. So here's some lyrics, but first I want to share my screen to show a small clip of it. It goes on for a long time. He raps for like 3 minutes, but we're just going to look at one part of it and then break down the rap a little bit and then highlight a few bars that I love. So first I'm going to share my screen.
Yeah. Bear with us, y'all. We're just figuring this piece out right here. Does it show? Do I have to?
Give me 1 sec. Let's see if I can get this going. Boom. All right, let's see if I can get it going.
While you try to get that going, Chris, I just want to say you I know you don't take credit for creating lyrics we love, but you definitely took it to the next level. In all of our meetings, we would look forward to that Chris Payne lyrics we love. Like, it really was something to look forward to and a true pleasure in our day to day.
All right, I appreciate that, man.
You got it.
I'm not. Let's see if I can. Here we go. Let's see. Can you guys see that?
Yep.
It does come naturally sometimes.
All right,
though.
I had a little rhyme that I started from.
I'm gonna-
Judgment figures.
I'm gonna start it
Okay.
right where he kicks it, just so we can hear a little bit of it.
We're living in some times that's the craziest. They say these legislators are the laziest. Dedicated religious figures have gone atheist. Each and everything must change. There's no escaping this. I'm on a block, post-apocalyptic smoke covers, coincidentally presented by the Koch brothers. The magnitude of this is bigger than the both of us. The attitude is trying to manage not to choke from it. Go and get the bolt cutters. Open the floodgate. Any relationship I've ever been in was love-hate. The city I was living in really never was safe. For some, a temporary resolution was duct tape. Now, I'ma probably be on the blacklist, but I don't give a fuck, so I'ma shrug like Atlas. And if my skepticism was a brand new practice, would y'all be disappointed like you just got catfished? It's cold-blooded. I'm wholeheartedly cold-hearted and swole from it. The same unseen hand still in control of it. I should be minding my own like it's a gold nugget, but I'm on that same bullshit, just on a lower budget, waiting on change that been low. Till the day after tomorrow, I sit by the window in the police state like your man Michael Winslow. My kinfolk told me there's a brand new Jim Crow. I've been going to bed at 10, up at 5, hustle to the bus and ride to the job. It's feeling hot as the 4th of July. My lady just getting home. We living separate lives. She couldn't be one of those Stepford wives if she tried. They shot my cousin. He died. It wasn't justified. I guess I'll see him if I make it to the other side. The corner deli owner tell me hurry up and buy. If everybody is somebody, tell me who am I? The same figure who came from Anguilla, ain't nothing different. I think I'm addicted to pain killer. I'm unpermitted to enter the village of Shangri-La. I'm depicted as being a killer that's dangerous, huh? Half dozen in one hand, 6 in the other. Yo, this is more than a suntan, it's living color. Black as oblivion, black as obsidian, black as the sky at midnight out to meridian. I am black as the portrait with Diddy, Tupac, and Biggie in. Black as the influence on the culture we living in. I survived the Chitlin circuit, vaudevilling in, managed to inspire the Beatles and Bob Dylan them. But did I miss the mark because I'm just as dark as John Henry Clark's inner thoughts at the time of the Harlem Renaissance? After which, rights activists deviated the flight path, the black ratchetness, putting us back smack dab where night catches us. We just go along for the ride, passengers.
All right. I'm gonna stop it there. And let's pull if we can pull back up the slides, right? Like he's a monster. Are we able to go back and pull up this lyric slide really quick, Brian?
Yeah.
And I recommend going out and looking it up. It's called the Harvard Lab with Black Thought. But here I just highlighted some things. I highlighted on the first column, you see the rhyme pattern and just how intricate and woven in his rhyme pattern is. It is so seamlessly in there, and you just feel the flow. But then the vocabulary, the wealth of knowledge, he references the Koch brothers, you know. But then let's look at some of the lyrics on the other side that just like, I feel like it just hits me, you know. The corner deli owner tell me hurry up and buy. If everybody is somebody, tell me who am I? I think one of the things about hip hop that makes it special, it's not really like, so, you know, not everyone has an answer. We sometimes don't have the answer, but to hear the conversation and hear someone say their pain and mention their pain and bring it up in an ordinary situation, like going to the corner store and being discriminated because of the color of your skin and having those conversations to yourself, like, who am I? You know, that's what kids deal with that every day. And to have a rapper as accomplished as Black Thought to still be able to pull himself into that situation, I think that's super powerful. If we could go back to the slide, just one more line I want to highlight, and then I'll step down. Black as oblivion, black as obsidian, black as the sky at midnight out to meridian. Like, one, the rhyme is just it's just hard. It's just like you see that he understands what he's doing. He says one thing, and you know he's gonna end that with the right rhyme at the right time. But just how prideful it is, you know, at one point talking about the struggles, but then going back and standing firm on who he is and celebrating who he is. You know, he did all that in one rhyme. And I'm telling you, it goes on for another 2.5 minutes, and he still hits on some pretty hard-hitting stuff. So I'm going to end it there. This is one of my favorite rhymes to go on and pull up on YouTube. I had ISTE 2019 on there because I was like hoping we could one day get him back and we do a concert again like we did back in the day. But that was my Lyrics We Love. Black Thought is just an incredible MC. And I appreciate the opportunity. And I would love to continue to drop these Lyrics We Love on the show whenever you give me opportunities. So thank you.
Oh, dude, I'm gonna have to write you a theme song and everything to go with this.
But really, go check that video out if you get a chance. It's no lyrics behind it. You can really focus in and see the power of hip hop and live. You know,
right? Well, that's one of the things that I loved about watching that. I hadn't seen that clip before. I was blown away, for one. But to see him reposition himself while he is actually delivering those bars lets us know that he's living these particular lyrics, this particular situation. And he's going to sit back on you a little bit and let you know exactly how he feels about all of this. Yeah. And I think that's something that you don't get in any other genre, but hip hop in itself. It's going to move you, in a different direction, and the MC himself, if they do it right, will be that conductor, in a sense when he's actually doing it live. That was dope, man. Thank you for sharing that for sure.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay, I'm downloading that clip now.
I could listen to Black Thought freestyles all day, and I had never seen that clip. Unbelievable. Totally blown away. Uplifting. Thanks for sharing that, Chris.
Thank you, brother.
I should have did my homework though, because that was a really good breakdown there.
Oh, it's all good. Also, so what you got, Camp? What you got?
So yeah, I went with an artist that I grew up loving as like a producer, a beat maker, someone who I actually ran into in 2003 at a Pete Rock album release party. I was like, oh man, I can't believe this dude is here. I'm not gonna say his name yet. I'm gonna play the full track. I'll pull up a lyric video as well. We'll listen to it. I feel like Mike has an idea who this is. Oh, there it is. No lyrics in the beginning, but I'll let this rock and we can play it all the way through and talk about it at the end.
I think I'm in a maze. I'm feeling conflicted within the brain. All these contradictions got me feeling strange. Is this the phase, or is this the way?
I wanna make non-stop profit. I wanna make a non-profit. Close down the store when I go shopping. Open up the floor for a closed topic. And relax on the beach in remote tropics. But grind like I'm broke and I'm so jobless. Feeling like it's me against the world, it's the other way around. We polluting and we won't stop it. I wanna stay at home and play Xbox, but my homies keep on hitting up my inbox. Say it's been a long time since they see me, so I'm cutting off the TV and I meet them at the next spot. I think I want a job in the office. I am the epitome of what a boss is. A paycheck every 2 weeks over losing out on sleep for the fear that I go starving. And yet I wanna take more risk. I don't wanna take more losses. Wanna be a better spinner, but I like the idea not caring what the cost is. I wanna tell the truth even when it hurts, but when I get it back I'd rather have to blow soften. Wanna pray 5 times a day, am I heading to the Mars? Probably not, I don't go often. In the kitchen cooking dinner, yeah I made that. Feeling lazy, so I probably ought to take out. Better yet, I'm really feeling for some Shake Shack. Looking at the plate like I gotta keep my weight down. In a circle of self-worth for judgment. How you match it up gets puzzling. How to know enough is enough when you lust for much of enough. It feels just as real as something.
I'm in a maze. I'm feeling conflicted within the brain. All these contradictions got me feeling strange. Is this the phase, or is this the way? I think I'm in a maze.
better listen a lot. When people say things I don't really care about, in one ear and it goes out. And you wouldn't even notice that my head was in the cloud, but my inner voice really wanna shout. Quit crying, you ain't dying. But I replied with legitimate advice like, keep trying, they high. But I really wanna tell them that they wasting time. More importantly, they wasting mine. That's harsh, and I'm not cold. Yeah, I'm from the capital, but I'm not bold. I guess I really am a nice guy. Keep hearing though that they don't win races. So I wanna be a track star, laughing at the people tripping on their own laces. That's tasteless, and I got style. And I ain't got wins, but I got house. And that's why folks wanna pick my brain. I saw the big picture and I picked my frame. But I think most are pretentious, probably just surrounded by the egocentric. And that rubbed off, so I say things that go along with the grain like, yeah, I meant it.
Did you stop that?
Woo! That was me. There it is. There it is. I stopped it right there. That was the final. That was the final hook. But that's my boy Odyssey. Huge fan of his. This song is called Contradictions Maze. Just talking about all the regular things that we all kind of think about and go through on the day to day, and just how to deal with it. And the reason why I picked this and why it's so uplifting to me is because it's so relatable. And to take it into the classroom, it's like these students all day, every day. It's like they're like looking for something relevant. They're looking for something real. And how often have we heard like, I don't know, why are we learning this, teacher? Can we do something that is more relatable to me? And this song to me is, I'm a 40-year-old person. Like, this is extremely relatable to me. It's hard to find relatable lyrics. But here he is, and he's talking about all the contradictions that he goes through. I mean, there's one line in there where he's talking about how religious he is, but he doesn't go to the mosque too often. It's just such relatable contradictions that he goes through on the day-to-day. And I think stuff like that should be in the classroom. I mean, when students can find something that's real and relatable, it makes them feel less isolated. It makes them feel more comfortable. It helps them be more comfortable learning and reaching out and really expressing themselves. And that's just on the consuming part. Like, if we were to take it even further into like Lyric Lab, or I'm not trying to make a Flocab commercial here, but if we were doing that,
it's all good.
we were writing lyrics, like, that's such a good thing for mental health, to just be creative. Everyone in here knows how paralyzing it is when you're writing lyrics. You're just like, endless amount of words you could pick from. It's like, I could say this way, I could say it that way. I could be up here with my tone, be down here with my tone. And that level of choice is paralyzing. But when a student is making that and they're problem solving, those same skills that you get from writing those lyrics can then be applied to more complex things in the classroom. So yeah, I mean, I could talk about that song all day. I could talk about Odyssey all day. Like, he's such a good, prolific musician / lyricist / performer. So good. Yeah, thanks for letting me share that.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna jump back though, then, because you mentioned something that we've tried to have a conversation around: problem solving in writing music. That is a difficult message to convey to traditional educators.
Yeah.
Who don't see that particular piece. You mind going a little bit deeper on that? I know I just put you on the spot.
No, it really is a problem that just gets overlooked often. I mean, at least in music, there are some kinds of limitations. It's like, oh, if you're writing a melodic piece, it's like, oh, at least I gotta be in the same key or something like that. And then within that, you can kind of explore. But writing lyrics, not too many limitations, that you could say whatever you want. I mean, the best thing to do is to pick a topic, that's close to the heart, a topic that you know about, a topic that you can speak about without thinking about it too much. And yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'm the best person to talk about this problem, not to put Mike on the spot, but no, I do think Mike could talk a lot of about writing. He writes lyrics.
I was coming to you,
Flocabulary, but also,
yeah. I mean, it's there's a poem. It's a sonnet by Robert Frost called "The Silken Tent," And it's about kind of like the form and about being flexible within constraints, right? And what is given to you in hip hop but constraints, right? 4 beats for a bar, 16 bars for a verse, if you want to be that, if you want to be that constraining to yourself. It has to rhyme, right? So when you're trying to, get a personal feeling, or, yesterday I was writing We Can Rap, and I was trying to just get a story down, and I tried it 30 different ways, and I just couldn't get it right. So it was clear and straightforward and rhymed and like still sounded pretty good. But eventually you got there, because you have to get there, because there's, literally with We Can Rap, it comes out every week.
Yeah.
It has to be done. So, and I was kind of writing this one last minute this week, so I had a lot of other stuff to do. So it's like, I have to figure this out. So it is truly that problem solving. But what I've always found that's interesting about the constraints is that's where the creativity comes from.
Yeah.
Right. And so it's really cool to experience like the liberation of getting like locked into something. Like the blank page is stressful, and it's pretty instructive, I think, for writers to get a chance to write with those restrictions to help them actually be a little more free and creative.
Yeah. I just read, Quincy Jones just put out a novel called 12 Notes on Life and Creativity. I just read it, and he literally focuses in on this aspect in music. He's like, if you have endless possibilities, the weight of the possibilities is just going to crush you, But if you get pulled into a certain limitations, now you know the ceilings, and through that, now the limitless within this constraint breeds creativity. Like actually not having as many options will give you more creativity than having all the options in the world. So it's good to have a time limit. And Mike and I talk about this a lot. We worked on the We Can Rap a lot together, having it so that we have literally a day to come up with the lyrics and the song and have it finished. And then we start the video right away, and having that every week is kind of liberating, because you're like, I'm going to give it my best shot, and I know what I need to do, and I'm going to shoot for the best. But once a certain time hits, I got to move forward. Like, we can't hold on to it, So, I mean, that still brings a little bit of stress, but we still get it done. And when we work with other artists, that's our main thing, is like pushing them. Like, hey, it might not be what you want. It might not be perfect, but you got to get it done,
So is the liberation in the completion of the product, or being able to see the lyrics finally come on the page once you recognize your constraints?
I think it's real time, the latter. I think it's a little more real time, because, you keep bumping into the wall or into the constraint, and it forces you to think differently every time you bump into it. So you're seeing it in real time. And if that wall wasn't there, you might have just rushed it out and written a sentence that wasn't really what you needed to say. But, if the beat's moving and the next line has to come, you have to finish the line. You can't go over. You can go over a little, maybe, if you want to stretch it. But so, what it is, it's cool to see the, the real-time nature of just kind of like, oh, no, I'll try it this way. Oh, I'll try it that way. You try just a bunch of different angles until, the key fits the lock, basically.
Yeah. And then it's the old adage, you got to know the rules to be able to break them too. So like, if you know the rules and you know the limitations, and then you go up to one, if you're feeling real confident, you're like, you know what? I'm going to do it this other way, because you're so comfortable and you understand your boundaries. Now you can really be creative with what they've given you. Then you can bend the matrix. Now you're Neo in the matrix now,
Yeah, that's dope.
And then, I mean, like, if we stretch it to the classroom context, thinking of Lyric Lab, right? There is no, creating with the content that you're learning. If you're creating with it, that's what we're looking for. And if a student is saying to themselves, okay, I just watched, Sacagawea on Flocabulary. Now I'm going to write my own verse about Sacagawea, or about, Lewis and Clark, whatever. They're taking it and, if we talk about the limitations, they're kind of like passing it around in their head, the words, the phrases that they saw, the information, and just like really just dealing with it. And in the dealing with it, I mean, how can you not at least take a little bit more away than you would have if you hadn't dealt with it?
And I have to say, and Mike and Chris, like, you definitely know what it's like. That whole thing about process just being better than the product, you know, just really focusing when you're writing those rhymes, really taking it to that next level. And when you go back to the mental health aspect, you go back to the science of it, when you're creating and you're in that zone and you're focusing, and please feel free to disagree with this, but it's like when you are creating those new neural pathways, like that's proven to increase your mental health, to support your mental strength. Like, so the more you do that, the better it is when you're in the classroom. So I think there's a lot to be said about the process of actually writing and creating and being creative.
Yeah. So I mean, that just goes to the point that when you're speaking with certain therapists, they're always going to tell you to consider journaling, which is a writing process. You know, so if our educators can grab onto that and allow for more freedom of expression, not, I get some of the, the writing that we have to do according to, the standards and whatever the case may be, but we have complete creative control on what that looks like and how that can actually be administered in the classroom. So being able to tap into this particular process, but also understand that there's liberation. And I keep going back to that liberation, because to me, when we're going through mental health struggles, when we get to that point where I understand, there's so much freedom, in getting to that point. And I honestly agree with you all that writing process under those constraints, but being able to manipulate those constraints to get the message out that you're trying to convey is a powerful thing. I mean, y'all got me all excited,
It's so funny. I have the opposite. I try to write in the morning. I try to write a page, just one page. And I have the opposite thing. If I'm committed to that page, right? Trying to like reach for that, it's like the opposite of a constraint. It's too big, honestly, of one page. I know it's kind of ridiculous that one page is too much, but trying to reach for it also brings something out of you. So, if you commit yourself to writing or, putting something down, whether it's like too tight or too wide, it's gonna result in something.
Love it. And I know we're running short on time, but Mike, did you bring some lyrics with you?
I did.
That Lyft.
I don't know if I can I share it? Am I able to like share my screen like for a YouTube video or no?
Yeah, you can. That was the process that Chris Payne was going through.
Let's see what happens.
Let me go ahead and take some of this out of the stream here real quick.
All right, I'll do share screen.
Yep.
Okay, just a second.
Yeah, you're good.
I can't wait.
While he's doing that, one of y'all mentioned, I think it was you, Chris Payne, talking about knowing the rules of the game. That DMX had a line that was very similar to that. Watch me mess it up. I have to look it up. For sure. Hold up. I think it's in its own.
Yeah. So
go ahead, Mike.
I was just gonna say I'm not able to share my screen because it has to get like permission from Google Chrome. But I can share. I can just share what the lyrics are.
Okay.
And I'll read them out. So all right. This song is not to me uplifting or would like necessarily give me a lift in sort of tone, but it's a song by Homeboy Sandman, who is a favorite rapper of mine. I know Chris Camp as well. And what he has an ability to do is write around a topic in a really unique way, right? So he'll pick a topic, usually one word, as this is one word. And this song's called Stress, right? Okay. And it's off a fairly recent album. I'm sorry I can't play it. I don't know if someone else could pull it up, that'd be cool, but it's fine. And he writes about stress. And the hook goes basically, stress is the number one killer. And it, talks about all that, but there's sort of a run in it that I really appreciate. And what I love about it is he's picking apart the idea of stress, right? And so here's a bit of it. It says, stresses are all around. Stress wants to be a verb. Make sure it's a noun. When stresses are repressed, effects can be profound. So don't be in denial when stress is going down. Try to take it all in stride. Please don't keep it all inside. Meditate or exercise. Get the demons exercised, right? So he has that. The hook goes like this. Stress is the number one killer. For folks that never slow down, always got to be on the run. Stress is the number one killer for people in the age group 0 to 101. Stress is the number one killer for folks that never fall back because there's always something to prove. Stress is the number one killer for people in the age group 0 to 102. Throughout the hook, he makes it up to 106. But I'll read you just a little bit more of this second verse. It goes, where is it? Stress could sneak in on a weekday or a weekend. Folks think you're being foul, but that's really the stress speaking. You might start being mean at the times when your stress is peaking. You're like a submarine letting out a distress beacon, aka a distress signal. There's stressful relationships and stress from being single. Maybe you feel stressed because you aren't free to mingle, or maybe you feel lonely during the days of Kris Kringle. Broke people often think they're stressed because they're poor, but I've seen too many stressed rich people to ignore. Given money is generated through blood and war, obviously creating stress is what money's for, right? So
that's so good.
So
good.
It would have been better to hear it from him. So definitely check out Stress by Homeboy Sandman. But to me, sometimes I get, and so, content-wise, it's a lift because it's so easy to get stressed. And to hear someone put the idea of stress in such plain terms and put it under a microscope or under a light and say, hey, this is what it is. It doesn't have to be such a big thing. But I also, what makes me excited and kind of lifts me up with lyrics like this is someone can just take that one word and just dance around it for probably 3 or 4 minutes and look at it from every angle and not necessarily judge it or say it's a bad thing, but ultimately just analyze it. And then he kind of drifts off. There's a lot of creative writing in it too, how he goes up in age throughout the song. But ultimately what I love about it and what gets me most excited is just the singular focus and the way he picks it apart. And then it's also just an added bonus that it's sort of, something we can all relate to in so many ways. I mean, it's so funny. Broke people often think they're stressed because they're poor, but I've seen too many stressed rich people to ignore, right? I mean, it's almost silly. It's like a Dr. Seuss rhyme, but we all know that. And then the other one, the one I started at is the stress wants to be a verb. Make sure that it's a noun, right? That's always big. So yeah, it's a good tune. It's not gonna necessarily pump me up, but you just reading the lyrics, it's really something special.
Once again, I will bring it back to liberation. You start off by saying it's not necessarily lyrics that lift, but the reality is it's identification of what so many folks are going through, and sometimes being able to name it is liberation.
Totally.
Because then once you name it and you figure it out what it actually is, then you can figure out what to do about it. But that to me is the first step in that liberation process. That is dope. I hadn't heard that one either.
Yeah, I gotta go back and check that out. I haven't heard that one either. I'm gonna bump that on the way home. Wow.
That album in particular, really good. And also, it's just his style, so it's not a surprise that he is able to focus in on little things like that. And he was a former English teacher, if you know the origin story. So no surprise.
No, but the reality is, and it's a good way to, to wind things down here. Stress is real. A lot of people are dealing with it, especially our educators, who have been going through for the past 2.5, going on 3 years. Stress can come from, the behavior issues that you're struggling dealing with. Stress can come from, what you feel may be these unnecessary or unrealistic expectations, that have been put up on you, or maybe the expectations we put up on ourselves during this particular type of scenario we're going through in education. But I guarantee you, once you sit down, reflect on this, like these brothers here do also, write it out. You may be able to find your own bars, as you're identifying, what is your stressor, because the reality is it is a killer. And we can't get to the point to where it is doing that to us, because our kids see it, our families see it, and it's detrimental. And we want to make sure that you find some liberation no matter what you're going through. So I love the ending on those particular lyrics, because it's all real. I know we all can relate to at least one line in that particular song. So I'm definitely going to shout that out here later on Twitter. So y'all be sure to check that out. But gents, thank you guys for blessing us, with just power. I don't even know how to articulate it at the moment. Hey. Not only did I learn some new songs, but just the perspective that goes into analyzing, the lyrics, but also uplifting the power within those. And once again, bringing back how liberating that could be. I'm forever grateful that you guys decided to come on and share that with us today.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. Yeah, we're always happy. Have us back. We're always,
for sure. I've already, ladies and gentlemen, I've already asked them if we could do this on a monthly basis. So I always like to bring music in. So, I'm putting them on the spot. I'm asking them again, can we do this on a monthly basis? We'll figure out a sequence that's going to make sense for the audience, as well. But once again, thank you, gents, for being on. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. Thank you for commenting. And if you're watching it on replay, make sure you shout out and share with somebody else, because this was some really good stuff. Really, 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 really good stuff. Want to point out to you that next week, we actually will be bringing on... Who are we bringing on next week? I forgot already. Who are we bringing on? BJ. Yeah, my engineer on the side over here. Who are we bringing on? Here it is. There's the up next. Actually, next week we're bringing on Dr. Nankin. She actually developed a 200-hour mental wellness program through yoga for teachers, and she's going to shout out on our SEL special with my co-host there. And then on the 26th, we're skipping a week because we're going to be in Padre Island, kicking a little bit. We're going to bring some live content, I promise, so during that week. But on the 26th, we're bringing in somebody from Brooklyn. She's actually going to be talking about how we can actually use the social media influence that the kids are under right now, and apply it to what we're doing in the classroom. So once again, y'all, we love y'all. We see y'all next time on Making Learning Addictive.